filters, little air filters. These are HEPA filters to go inside the DIY fabric face masks that I have been making for family members who work in the medical profession. Now, the face mask pattern that I used is called the Olsen pattern, and I picked that because it was specifically requested by the hospital that my family member works at, and she said this is the pattern that I had to use. And the good thing about this pattern is there is a little pocket in the back for a HEPA filter. So the filter fits in just like this. It's got pleats in it, and it's easy to take in and out. The word HEPA stands for High Efficiency Particulate Air. It is a rating that is given to air filters that go in air purifiers because these filters can catch very small particulates and filter them out of our air. Now, I cannot make any claims about these little filters. They have not been tested. I do not know how effective they are, but I can tell you that I did use HEPA fabric that came out of this HEPA filter that I just bought at Walmart. So I took apart this filter and it actually gave me 15 feet of this 6-inch wide HEPA fabric. So I used the HEPA fabric to make my little HEPA filters that will go inside the masks. The CDC recommends that our healthcare professionals use N95 masks for their personal protective equipment, PPE, but as a last resort, they have also said that homemade fabric face masks may be used. Now, you might not be able to find this exact HEPA filter where you live, but that doesn't mean that you can't try this. The other sizes of HEPA filters should be able to be taken apart and the fabric used like I did for this one. And also other kinds of HEPA rated filters such as vacuum bag filters or other air purifier filters may also be able to be taken apart and used just like this. So let's get on with the video tutorial. I will show you how I took apart this filter and then I sewed up these little filters to go inside the face mask. So this is the filter that I bought. It is a HEPA filter. That's very important that you get a HEPA filter, and I guess it fits an air purifier from Filtrete. I don't have that air filter. I was just looking for a HEPA filter that would let me get as much fabric, as much usable filter fabric as possible. So this is what the filter looks like, and I'm just going to go ahead and deconstruct it now so that I can get this filter fabric here to make my face mask filters with. With the end pieces taken off, now I'm just going to use some good scissors to cut as close to this side piece as possible. And I can just cut it off, cut off each pleat. I don't want any wasted fabric here that's attached to this side piece, so I'm just going to cut as close to it as possible. And you'll see then the side almost comes off, and I just need to turn the filter around and finish cutting from this side. And you see that my filter fabric is starting to come away from this carton or this piece that is connected to. So I'm going to just keep going, and I'm going to cut the filter off on both sides so that I can get this HEPA fabric that's on the inside. So now that I have removed the sides and the top and bottom from this filter using scissors, cutting as close to the edges as possible, now this filter fabric you see here is connected into pleats using what seems like hot glue. So I don't want to damage the filter fabric, but I do want to use as much of it as possible. So I'm just going to very carefully open out the pleats and then remove these strings of glue that are holding it together. So I'm just going to go ahead now and very carefully remove all the glue strings from both sides until I have a nice long strip of filter fabric. So I have my filter fabric here. I got 15 feet by 6 inches out of this one filter. Now my pleats in my filter are not quite 2 inches apart, and we have found that it's pretty difficult to work against the pleats in your filter to try and make new pleats that are in other places. So it's easiest just to work with the pleats that are already in your filter to make little pleats for your filter that goes inside the mask. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to count 5 folded lines. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm just going to cut this off here. And don't worry about these edges, we're going to trim those later. So this is approximately 6 by 8 inches of filter. If your filter fabric doesn't have the pleats, that's great. You can make your own pleats. If it has different widths of pleats, you can experiment for that and find one that works well for you. So the first thing that I'm going to do is, see here, I have 2 pleats that are up facing me, and I have 2 that are down in the valley here, because that's the way the filter was. But I want all 4 of these folds to be upwards, pointing towards me. So I'm just going to refold this pleat the other way. And then this one, I'm just going to refold the other way. Okay, so I now have 4 folds, which will go the way that I want them to go. And I'm just going to start by making a little pleat. So if I imagine that this distance between 2 folds, I'm going to make it into thirds. And at the first third, I'm going to fold, and it will meet over at the second third. And I'll just clip it here. And then I'll do that again. Here's my fold. It was originally going the other way, and I'm convincing it to go this way. And I'm going to imagine that this distance between it and the next fold is in thirds, and I'm just going to fold it over 1/3 and clip it. And then I'll fold the next one over 1/3. Lift, and then the last one, fold over by 1/3 and clip it. It's hard to get these perfect, so don't worry about being perfect. Just try to have 4 evenly spaced pleats here. So I've got 4 pleats on this side, and now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, making these pleats go the same direction. And these are a little bit easier because you've got those to use as a guide. Now you see here, these pleats are tighter than these, and this distance is about 3.5 inches, and over here I've got over 4 inches. So that just means that I can go ahead and bring these pleats a little bit closer together. I really just want it to be even, and that looks pretty even to me. Now we have a little bit of extra fabric here than we do down here, and that's just because of the way the pleats were spaced. So what I'm going to do is just fold this under right here, and that will be the top of my mask, and there will just be a little bit of extra protection there at the top of my mask. Or if the wearer feels like they want that extra protection at the bottom, then that can be the bottom. So now it looks all nice and even, and I'm going to go to my sewing machine and I'm just going to sew a line of stitching 1/4 of an inch away from the side along here, and then another one here. Now I'm going to sew the other side going in the same direction, just because then it's easier for me to keep the pleats in place with my fingers. And there we go. Last of all, we will trim the rough edges away from the sides about 1/8 of an inch from the stitching so they're nice and neat. I hope this tutorial for DIY filters made with Hepa fabric will make your masks more effective. Most of all, I wish all my readers and viewers health and safety in this difficult time. Stay at home, wash your hands, get in contact with loved ones through technology, and let's all get through this together. Happy sewing.
Today I'm going to show you the 5 foods you must avoid eating if you have arthritis. If you have arthritis, you need to watch this short video right now. My name is Mark Roach, and I'm the Senior Arthritis Correspondent for healthandwellnesstools.com. And the information I'm about to share with you is based on findings from some of the top doctors and